In 1981, on a quiet foggy day in Finchley, London, an ordinary bus set off on its usual route. It was like any other day, with nothing out of the ordinary to suggest that it would become the epicenter of one of the most chilling and baffling mysteries in the city's history. But on that day, not one or two, but nearly 100 people would vanish without a trace, and their story wouldn't be told by any witness, but by just one photograph. Let me tell you a story about London's mysterious double-decker. The year was 1981. Finchley, a quiet suburban area of London, was a peaceful place. Nothing ever happened here. People went about their business, catching the same buses, taking the same walks, enjoying the simple life. Route 212, a standard double-decker, was no different from any other. It was just another piece of daily routine. On October 5th, the 212 bus began its route on Finchley Central, picking up the first passengers for the day. Commuters, shoppers, and elderly locals. Just another day in a city that prided itself on its normality. The bus's usual driver was at the wheel, and everything seemed normal. There was nothing specific about this day at all, at least not to the passengers. As the bus made its rounds through Woodside Park, Totteridge, and Barnet, it continued its familiar journey, picking up more passengers. With around 97 passengers on board, it was approaching the final destination, High Barnet. The bus's final stop was on Barnet Road, near a small forest. It was an isolated area with a few shops and houses around, but one elderly woman, Miss Agnes Moore, who lived nearby the final stop of the bus 212, had been standing at her window for some time, watching cars, people, and buses pass by. Miss Moore had lived in this area for most of her life. She was a retired photographer, so she always carried a Polaroid camera with her. As an ex-photographer, she loved standing at her window of her small flat and just taking random pictures of the things she thought are interesting. That day, when something caught her attention, she noticed that bus 212 was filled with passengers, more than usual. A strange sense of unease washed over her as she saw the faces of the people on board the bus. The bus didn't stop, it didn't slow down. It turned right and drove directly into the forest, out of view, as if it had been swallowed up by the trees. Miss Moore was confused. The route had never taken the bus into the woods, so she quickly grabbed her camera and took a blurry photo, watching as the bus vanished behind a thick line of trees, and then nothing. Silence. That was the last time anyone saw the bus and its passengers. At first, no one thought much of it, but when the driver and its passengers failed to return to their homes that evening, worry began to set in. The search was launched almost immediately. Police searched the streets, questioning witnesses and looking for any sign of the bus. But there was nothing. No one had seen the bus make any sudden turns or detours. No one remembered hearing screams or anything unusual. It was as if the bus and everyone on board simply disappeared into the thin air. No one besides Miss Moore. The most strangest thing is that Miss Moore was never questioned by the police. She wasn't even considered a suspect because a day of the bus disappearing, Miss Moore vanished as well. The only piece of evidence she left behind was a single Polaroid photograph. It was an odd, chilling snapshot, a blurry image of the bus, taken just before it vanished into the forest. The bus in the picture appeared to be driving directly towards the dense woods, its headlights cutting through the thick fog of an early evening. 3 days later, on October 8th, the bus was found deep in the forest, after Miss Moore's daughter called the police to report her mother is missing. When the police arrived, they found the bus in pristine condition. No damage, no broken windows, no signs of an accident. It was parked in the middle of the woods, surrounded by trees and fog. But the most chilling detail was the emptiness of the bus. No passengers, no driver, no belongings, just the echo of silence. There were no fingerprints, no signs of struggle, no clues to explain how the bus ended up there. The doors were locked, the windows were intact, and yet, almost 100 people, some of whom had been seen entering the bus just hours before, were now gone, vanished. Police said we were baffled. We combed through every inch of the bus, but there was nothing, no evidence. It was as though the passengers had simply disappeared. No personal belongings, no bags, no trace of anything. The driver wasn't even on the bus, and we couldn't find him anywhere in the woods. But the truth remains elusive. Even after years of investigation, no one could explain what happened. The forest where the bus was found remained a place of mystery, and many locals began to avoid the area. Rumors spread about strange occurrences near the woods, whispers of shadowy figures and eerie noises. And Miss Moore still is the last person who saw the bus that day, and her Polaroid, alongside the bus itself, are the only evidence of this shadowy case.